he's there saying, we were so happy when we dropped the bombs. I mean, they didn't feel any pity, compassion, or anything for the fires, you know, we paid them back, you know, and it was just like, it was just in your face, you know, and he was just a little pilot, a Navy ensign taking off an aircraft carrier. 2/3 of his friends would have already been killed, but you could just feel the asabiya there. No one told him to feel like that. I don't think you get many young men today or women who feel that kind of passion. Because I think the asabiya is much weaker after the Vietnam War, the group solidarity. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying that that's something to be reckoned with. So, you know, so what you do out of going into an institution is you get this feeling of group solidarity, which is either strong or less strong. And I think the stronger it is, and Ibn Khaldun probably was right given his parameters of his day, the stronger it is, probably the stronger we give in society. I mean, Russia in the Great War, even though it had the most horrible tyrant, you know, was willing to sacrifice almost 20 million soldiers. And we don't have any idea what that means. Same in our Civil War. I don't want to put it all in terms of war, but it expresses itself often there. Russia's population has like almost declined, almost maybe a third or a half since then, actual Russia itself. And I don't think you could ever get the asabiya to put that kind of manpower on the battlefield that they had in the 1940s, even with a monster like Stalin, you know, generating the push. So this is a very strong thing, group solidarity. So it has nothing to, as I said, it has nothing to do with the truth of Stalin. It has to do with what you feel to your fellow compatriots. So in your churches, synagogues, mosques, whatever, people feel a warmth, a fellow feeling, like a family. It's really tribalism to some extent, you know, a development of tribalism. So again, what we do in class has nothing to do with that. So do not feel that anything questioning a genealogy does not allow you to go in and sing the Hallelujah chorus at Christmas time. You know, one thing I don't think has anything to do with the other, but if I make that plain, is that clear? All right. So let's go to the contradictions then, and then you dislike me just because I point out one or two things that make these things unreliable. So I guess right there, David begat Solomon and Uriah, and Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abijah, and I don't know where they got all this. I guess if you study your Old Testament carefully, you can get these genealogies. But Luke obviously didn't like that genealogy. What's the problem with that little glitch there? Why wouldn't someone like Luke want Jesus to be descended from that little point, even though it's it would be the most impressive or well-known or forceful genealogy of someone descended from David? What's the problem there?
Solomon messed up.
Yeah, Solomon messed up with who? Like Clinton did, you know, but no, Solomon didn't mess up too bad like Clinton. He at least married the woman, you know, but Clinton didn't want to marry the
Didn't
woman.
he end up like putting up all those altars to other gods?
I don't think that's the problem. The problem is right here. Uriah, he took Uriah as wife.
Oh, okay.
He took Uriah as wife in a fairly underhand, sleazebag manner. You say, okay, what did he do? Now you look at me puzzling. What did you? Since you don't seem to have a good hold on, maybe a third of you do. Who are the geniuses in the class here who can tell the others what's the problem with David and Uriah and Bathsheba?
Killed her husband.
Huh?
He had the husband killed.
Put him up.
He had the husband killed, and he saw her bathing one day. According to, I think it's a very colorful story. It could be right in Playboy. And the Bible often looks like Playboy magazine in some of this interest in puerile sexuality. But why not? How do you get people interested in a good story if you don't get some sex into it? You know, that's part of the game, unfortunately, for writers. Maybe not for the Bible, but you know, we're not talking. The New Testament doesn't have as much as that because it's more like it's a divine character. So people have some awe of divine characters anyway. But here we're talking just about normal. I don't want to say sleaze bag human beings, but I'll say it, you know, just people like you and me with the same weaknesses we all have and strengths. And as the poet, storyteller tells a story, whether authentic or just an anti-David story or an anti-Solomon story. Why could it be an anti-Solomon story? Because if you want to impugn someone's origins, what do? Even today, you say, oh, in Spanish particularly, oh, your mother's and then they say the word, or in Arabic too. You just have to say in Arabic, what's the word? I can't remember what the word is in Arabic. But they don't even have to say it. They say, your mother, and everyone knows the rest of it. Or your sister, meaning, you know, either she's a putana or, S dot her, okay? And that's like fighting words, almost cut your head off throat words. How many saw the World Cup soccer this past year? What happened to the Algerian guy that was playing? Did you see what he did in the World Cup soccer? Because that guy was ragging him all the time, not just about French versus Italy. He was going on about his sister. And until finally the guy said, you just see him. What's his name? Zinedine? He was a great player. You know, and you could just see his brain, you know, and it just suddenly went click, and the thing just went click. And then he turned around in the middle of the field, like very, very methodically, you know, very intentionally, you know, exactly what, and he just walked up to the guy and he went, boom, you know, and he headbutted him and knocked him down for like a worldwide audience. And everybody knew he was going to get thrown out of the game, and he was France's biggest star, but it no longer mattered to him. It wasn't that he was losing. The guy had just passed the bounds.
They were tied then.
Yeah, he had just, I think the French might have won if that had happened, but the guy had just passed the bounds and he just couldn't, you know, I understood the guy. I mean, I knew where he was coming from. I do Islamic culture. I understood. It was, oh, terrible, horrible, and no, I thought the guy on the Italian side was dishonorable to have bragged him like that, and knowing that he could maybe get some kind of rise out of him or spoof him in that way. I thought that was very unsportsmanlike and very unprofessional. Yeah, I know, but not that to someone from that part of the world. And that just went beyond. In a Westerner, if I call your sister okay, a whore, you know, you're not going to get all worked up at me in the West. You know, I'm on the line, screw your sister or something like that. But knowing that a person comes from North Africa, from that background,